All right, I think this is the move. It is Thursday, April 24th, 7:24 a.m. Leaving the gym today. Quick little treadmill fartlek workout. About a 15-minute warm up, 6 by 1 minute at 5K pace, which I just put at 7.5 on the treadmill, which should be an 8-minute mile. That wasn't showing me this particular treadmill I was using what it actually was, but it should be at 7.5 miles per hour, 8 minutes per mile. 1 minute jog in between, and then like a 7 minute cool down. It just stopped me at 35 minutes. Um, the workout was supposed to be 40 to 60 minutes. I didn't see a reason to keep going on the cool down, and 35 minutes is fine. Um, and got the per the training plan on Strava, this weekend is the 5K time trial that the plan was built for. So, more volume at this point, cool down or otherwise, is probably just not. It's definitely not needed. Probably not warranted. Um, so cut it off there. Good little workout. It felt fairly easy. Treadmills feel easier than the road, obviously, because it's moving underneath you. You're just preventing yourself from falling more than you're pushing off. Um, so the actual 5K pace goal will probably be somewhere around the 8.5 minute mark instead of the 8 minute mark. Um, but we'll see how we feel. So we'll rest the legs a little bit. Do have an overhead press workout I want to get done between now and then. Um, and I would normally have a squat workout, but since I have the 5K time trial in the diary, I'm not going to do that squat workout. At least not this weekend. I'll push it back a few days so I can do that run with somewhat fresh legs. Um, but I should still be able to handle that overhead press workout without it causing too much fatigue. So that's on the agenda. But yeah, I think this is the move, going back to my opening statement, that it's just easy to pop the camera open, turn the mic on, and just talk on the way home from the gym. So this might just be a daily setup, or at least a every day I go to the gym type of setup. Um, I don't go to the gym every day. Some days I'll sleep in, some days I'll just do something else, whatever. But every day I'm at the gym. If I have the brain space, I'm not in too big a hurry to get home or to wherever, this will probably be the move. So pseudo daily vlogging style. Probably just talking about what's on my mind, which is that. And I was feeling very anxious yesterday, and just about everything, like um, mostly about getting back to work after having 2 weeks off. I told my bosses after I had to take an additional week off that I wasn't planning to, that I'd turn on notifications. I'm a level 1 security analyst, a junior, so I didn't honestly expect to be called into anything, but still just having the notifications on my phone during my home time causes a bit of anxiety. If for nothing else, because I know there's just a lot of information I'm going to have to catch up on. Like, a lot has happened. I know that there have been some breaches for some of our clients, but I don't know the scope. A lot of the times when there's a breach of any kind, the scope is actually quite small. It's just an individual's workstation. It's just an email password reset or something. But obviously, that's very scary for an enterprise level client or whoever it is, because molehills can become mountains very quickly. So the response is often very, very loud, even if the actual scope of it is quite small. So I just had all those notifications. It's giving me a bit of anxiety, not only for the fallout potential, um, but also just I'm gonna have to catch up on a bunch of stuff when I get back. Um, and I'm not really ready. Like, I'm kind of ready to get back in terms of just getting it back into a normal workflow, but the family isn't really quite ready. A lot can happen in a few days, so where everybody can feel better. But you know, I think if my wife had the choice, she would definitely take another week of me handling the other 3 kids. We absolutely would ask for some more help from other family, but um, they're a bit tied up with their own thing. We have family that works for the government, which is obviously in a bit of a chaotic state at the moment, um, especially in terms of the teams that my family works with. They're in a great deal of flux. Um, so anyway, just a lot to figure out, a lot to think about, a lot to, we just don't know exactly how it's going to go or happen. Um, and one thing with my job in particular, we have a lot of metrics for time tracking to make sure that we are appropriately providing value and charging for services for all of our clients. So we track to make sure we're hitting certain um, billable hours and things like that. Very common in other industries. It gives me a lot of stress in particular, um, because it makes me feel like I'm hitting quotas more than I'm doing good work. That's a personal problem of mine because not everybody feels that way. Some people like the binary of it, but it gives me just an additional layer for the next few weeks, especially while I will probably need to be pulled away from some of those tasks that I would normally fill those billable hours with to help my wife take care of the other kids while she's continuing to recover with the baby. Um, so anyway, yeah, lots of just anxiety inducing potential things to come. But as I was thinking about that, I was reminded of where Jesus teaches about worry. And I'm paraphrasing, I can't quote it exactly. This is basically who can add a moment to his life by worrying. And you can't. No one can. Worrying about next week is not gonna. It's not gonna help next week go any better. Um, Worrying about retirement is not gonna make retirement go any better. We should consider these things. Sure, we should consider the future. Um, but at the moment, my life is hard to plan from day to day, and much less from week to week, month to month, and year to year. So, and some of that's probably a me problem. Like some of that is a skill issue. Some of that is a financial issue. Some of that is just reality, though. And um, how is worrying about it going to change it? It's not. He goes on to say that tomorrow has enough trouble of its own, or I'm sorry, today has enough trouble of its own. Let tomorrow deal with itself. I have enough trouble today, but I've gotten done some good work on the treadmill, so my fitness is sorted. I should have plenty of meals prepped to make sure my diet is sorted, and all I have to worry about is taking care of my family today. I don't have to worry about what's going on at work next week because next week hasn't happened. I just have to worry about taking care of my family today, and that's enough. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking about today. I can't add to my life by worrying about tomorrow. I only need to handle the tasks given to me today. And if I can do that well, that will be enough. All right. Much love.